Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to grapple with something we all face, mistakes and regrets.
Yeah, definitely universal themes.
We're starting with this really great conversation from Real Easy English, Beth and Neil. They shared some quite personal stories, actually.
And they broke down the language around when things, don't go quite as planned.
So think of this as, well, a way to get a clearer handle on these experiences.
Exactly. We'll look at what really is a mistake, what regret feels like, and whether looking back is actually valuable, all through their stories.
Okay, so Neil kicks things off. He says a mistake isn't just like getting a math sum wrong.
Right. It's bigger sometimes. Life decisions, actions we take, it covers a lot of ground.
It's quite a wide spectrum then, isn't it?
It really is, and we often just focus on the obvious errors, the small stuff maybe. But the impact, the emotional side, and what we learn, well, that can be totally different depending on if it's, losing your keys or changing your whole career path.
Right. And Beth gives a perfect example of the everyday kind. She left her suitcase on the train, accidentally.
Oh, yeah, that classic by mistake moment. You instantly get that sinking feeling, don't you?
Totally.
And how she described it, the football fans being a distraction, then realizing maybe half an hour down the line,
Yeah.
you can almost feel that little wave of panic.
Yeah, definitely.
What's interesting, though, is the luck involved. They held the train, she got it back. It makes you wonder,
Wonder what?
well, how much do we really learn when we get bailed out like that, when there's a sort of fortunate escape?
That's a good point. Does the easy fix lessen the lesson? Then Neil, he talks about a much bigger mistake or what felt like one.
Resigning from that teaching job in Prague he loved.
Yeah, just because he felt like he needed a change, not because he was unhappy.
Which is fascinating, isn't it? That human need for something new, even when things are good. And the regret hit him so fast afterwards.
Almost immediately.
Yeah, it suggests maybe that initial feeling, that need for change, maybe it wasn't fully thought through, perhaps more emotion than logic.
Could be.
Yeah.
And it's almost a mirror of Beth's suitcase story in a weird way.
How so?
The unexpected happy ending. He actually got his job back.
Oh, right, because the new person changed their mind. Yeah, that parallel is strong.
It really makes you think how much the outcome colors our view of the initial mistake if he hadn't gotten the job back.
Exactly. Would he still frame it the same way? The story we tell ourselves about our mistakes is, well, it's powerful. Something that felt like a huge error can look different later if things turn out okay.
So is mistake even a fixed label then? Or is it something we assign later looking back?
Precisely. It's often defined in retrospect, based on what happened next.
That's really interesting. Okay, so then they shift gears a bit, talking about regret. Beth defines it pretty simply.
Yeah, just feeling bad or sorry about something you did, wishing you'd done it differently.
And Neil gives that classic childhood example, quitting piano lessons.
And the interesting part there is his parents gave him the choice. As kids, we don't really grasp, future benefits or how our tastes might change. And he loves music now, plays guitar.
So he looks back and thinks, if only.
Exactly. It really highlights how our values shift over time, doesn't it? And how that can make us regret choices made with a completely different mindset.
It's funny how those early decisions can stick with you. But then Beth, she has a totally different view on regret,
Yeah, she basically says we shouldn't have regrets.
which sounds bold.
Well, her thinking is all about growth. That every experience, even the bad ones, teaches you something. They make you who you are.
So it's a very resilient way of looking at things, focusing forward.
Absolutely. It's about momentum, not getting stuck looking back. It fits with that whole idea that experience is the best teacher, even if it involves messing up sometime.
It definitely feels more positive, and it connects right into that common saying we have, learn from your mistakes.
Such a fundamental phrase, isn't it?
It really is.
And it implies, an active thing, not just admitting you messed up, but actually taking something useful away from it.
Like a practical lesson.
Right. The value is in preventing the next mistake, though you have to wonder how often we consciously do that learning part.
True. So, okay, just to quickly recap the key words they used. Mistake, just an action that's wrong or unintended. By mistake, doing something accidentally, like Beth in the suitcase.
Yeah.
Regret, that feeling sorry about the past.
That emotional response.
And then the action part. Learn from your mistakes, remembering not to do it again.
These words are they're baked into how we talk about our choices, aren't they? Trying to make sense of it all.
Yeah. The little nuances show how we think about intention, how we feel about the past, and how we try to guide ourselves for the future. So wrapping this up, It seems clear that mistakes vary hugely, from tiny slips to big life changes.
Definitely not all the same weight.
And regret is that emotional echo, but maybe it doesn't have to be the final word.
Right, especially if you adopt Beth's perspective.
And there's always this tension, isn't there, between looking back and needing to move forward.
Indeed. Which leads to maybe a final thought for you listening. Think about a really small mistake you made recently. Maybe you misspoke, forgot something minor.
Okay.
Did you actually take anything away from that tiny stumble? Anything at all?
Mhm.
Now think about a proper past regret, something that still, pops into your head sometimes. Has that experience, maybe in a way you didn't expect, actually shaped who you are now?
That's a deep one.
Well, sometimes connecting those dots, the small error and the big regret, that's where we learn the most about ourselves and the path we've taken.